Okay, so we're moving on to the section of Pilates. So we've done the breathing technique and we've hopefully spent some good time mastering that. We now want to add in some low-level Pilates moves which are going to help with what you're doing already. So Sarah's going to do demonstrations and I'm going to talk through and do technique, etc, etc. So I'm going to start off with a roll down. We are. Should we go side on, Jonathan?
Should I go back here?
You go back there. So you want to make sure your feet are hip distance apart and you're getting into your good posture to start. So slight bend in the knees, find that neutral spine. So you tip as far back as you can, as far forward as you can, find somewhere in the middle of the two, lift through the top of the head and lift the chest. So that's a great starting position for you to go before you go into any other exercise. So roll down, you're going to drop your chin to your chest, shoulders are going to go with, and you're going to slowly take your fingers down to the floor. You're going to bend your knees as well and just feel the stretch going into the lower back and a little bit into the legs, and then slowly bring yourself up. So we're just going to do a couple of each exercise so that you can have a go and so you know what you're doing when you come to trying it. So nice and slowly rolling through, let the head drop right down, let the arms drop, the weight drop out, and then slowly bring yourself back up. So from that move, we're going to go forwards into a down dog. So you're rolling all the way down, just as what we've been doing there. And when you get to the floor, as you can see, you're going to walk your hands forwards and then place your hands down, press your heels down. So you're looking to stretch through the back of the legs and then look in between your knees. That's what we're looking for the down dog. Don't worry if you can't get your heels all the way down to the ground like Sarah, she's pretty flexible. Just go with, yes I am. Just go with what feels right for you. And if you want to, Sarah will show you this time, you can slowly press your heels away to increase the stretch. So if it's too much to have both heels down, you can go with a little pedal of the feet and that will help lengthen through without too much intensity. Yeah? Beautiful. Then slowly, yes, I am. Slowly roll yourself up. Perfect. So do a couple of those, and then we're going to come down onto the floor. Onto the floor on your side, please, Sarah. We're going into chest opening. See, I've got the program here because I've got a terrible memory because I'm a mum. Just don't remember anything. So you've got a nice position through the body here. You've again got your hips stacked one on top of the other, your knees are together. So you're just holding yourself still and strong. You've got your arm underneath the head to make sure you've still got a nice line through your spine. Hand comes on the floor in front, and then you're going to take your arm behind you without moving your body, just as far as you can to feel the stretch in your chest and shoulder and back down to the start. So chest,
a good one.
We love this one, don't we?
Yeah.
It's got to be one of our favourite moves. It's just so good to work on stretching out the chest. So when you are again trying to work on your posture, wonderful one to do because so many of us are hunched over, so it's a really great one. So a couple more of those for me, Sarah. And we're going to go into chalk circles next. So there's the thing with the chalk circles, it's a similar sort of start to the chest opening one here, but you take it over the head, and with this one you do allow your body to go with.
She's going to touch me.
She's going to touch me. So again, as you can see with Sarah, she's rolling through the body, and try and keep your fingers on the floor. Don't worry if you can't do that, by the way. It takes a bit of practice. You can lift your arm up as Sarah's demonstrating, or if it just doesn't feel quite right, you can put a hand on a shoulder and go for a shoulder roll that way. Yeah, still mobilised and still getting that work going through. Perfect, last one.
I like these ones too.
Obviously, if you do one side, we want you to do the other side, so we're just demonstrating the moves for you so you can go off in your own time, put some nice relaxing music on and off you go. So the next one we're going to do is bridge. So Sarah's going to roll onto her back.
Might have to readjust my ponytail.
Wobbly. So make sure your feet are hip distance apart and the knees are in line as well. So you don't want to be legs out or knees in. We want nice stability through the pelvis. So we're growing as tall as we can through the top of the head, and shoulders are back and down. So we're going to go into a bridge. What we mean by here is your heels are quite close to your bottom. You're going to tilt your pelvis towards you and then push through your legs and roll up one vertebrae at a time so that you're activating your posterior chain underneath here.
Pull that there, then
there
people
we
can
go.
see
You
better.
see your back. So she's nice and high, activating glutes, hamstrings, and she's going to slowly roll herself back down again.
And that's the hardest bit.
It really is. And you want to place sort of one vertebrae at a time. So you want to imagine you're lying one vertebrae at a time as you come down. Same thing again, you try and push your hips as high as you can to the ceiling and then slowly roll back down. Yeah? So 2 more of those for me, Sarah. And what we would suggest when you're doing it is just, you can do it for a period of time, either a minute, or do each exercise for 10 times. It depends what really is fitting in with your lifestyle. Beautiful. So from this one, we're going to go into a one-legged stretch.
Oh, another good one.
Another great one. So you draw one knee in towards the floor and start off just extending that leg down, because this alone gives a really nice stretch through the hip flexor. It just feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So just get into that first and then change and keep the foot on the floor. And just do a couple of these so you can get a real good stretch going on. You can feel the length in the body. Draw the knee in quite close to the body so you can get a stretch also a little bit through the glutes as well. And change. And then what you can start to do, if you want to, is just lift this straight leg up a little bit so it just comes off the floor ever so slightly. And then you'll feel that your abdominals are starting to activate a little bit more there. And we're going to suggest staying with this level 1 at this point in the program. I love this one.
Yeah.
I love this one.
I do too.
So from the one-legged stretch, we're also then going to go into toe taps, single toe taps. This can be done, Sarah's going to show you all of them. So you can do it one leg at a time.
Like so.
Like so. And again, we still want you to stay relatively easy at this stage. So start off doing this. And when you're setting yourself up, get yourself in the right position before you even try and lift a leg. So focus on that engagement of the core that we've shown you in the previous videos. And then if you want to make it a bit harder, we've got tabletop. Yeah, lovely. So with this one, you want to make sure your ankle's in line with your knees. And your knees are over your hips. If they're too close, you're too close for me, Sarah.
Oh.
They're too close.
You mean you do it wrong?
If you do it, I know. Well, you do it wrong for a minute. If you do that, you're just not going to feel it the same way. So make sure that you've got those knees over the hips.
And the other one is the...
Yeah, you can keep it closer together, thank you. So if you want it easier, again, you can keep your tap toes closer together. Or if you want it harder, tap it further away. If your toes are getting crampy, relax and heels up. Heels up, toes up. That's the one. So that's pretty much it for that section. We want you to, we wanted to show you and demonstrate in the video, but really what we'd like you to do is go away, get some nice relaxing music on and just work your way through it. It's all written down for you as well, but we wanted to show you what the names of the exercises look like, so a lot of people don't know. Yeah. But have a go and we'll see you on the next video.